First off, guys, just say your name, what position you're running for, and then I guess talk a little bit about the two guys that you're missing.
Okay. Um, okay. So my name is Benjamin Mendelson. I'm the president candidate on the tomorrow Towson ticket. I'm currently the treasurer of the Student Government Association, a brother of the Kappa Sigma Mu Sigma chapter here at Towson University, and a lifetime member, I like to think, of the Ultimate Frisbee team. You want to go ahead?
My name is Stephen Tangnan. I am currently the SGA Director of Student Groups. I am the candidate for Chief of Staff on the Tomorrow Towson ticket. I am also a second-year RA in Newell and also a member of the Towson Club swim team.
And then just say the names of the people who you guys are missing right now.
Right, we're missing David Harley, who is the vice presidential person on the ticket, and he's a current second-year justice on SGA and a member of a business fraternity, and also Stephen Flowers, who is on the executive board of ADC, and he's running for Attorney General.
Okay, so everybody on your ticket then seems to have some pretty good experience with SGA. So do you think that kind of gives you guys an advantage?
Advantage? I mean, I think it does, in the sense that when we say we want to accomplish some things, we have the background and the networking and the ability and the confidence to say, we believe that this can happen. That kind of fits in with our ticketing. Tomorrow Towson, it's kind of, not really normal. Usually you have just kind of like tiger and then a verb or something like an adjective. But we really wanted to have our ticket name say the belief that we believe all the things that we want to do can exist tomorrow and Tomorrow Towson. So we have ambition, we have the networking, and we believe that we can all make it happen.
All right, so just tell me a little bit about some of the things that you guys want to accomplish if you're elected.
You want to go ahead?
Well, as far as the whole ticket as a whole, we have certain initiatives that we want to implement if we get elected. So a couple of them are more parking for visitors, commuters, and residents in general of Towson community. Also, extended dining hours especially on the weekends. Another thing, as a campus found out yesterday, the Wi-Fi connection. It's not necessarily the best. So just working on that and getting more possible towers or something like that on top of more of the buildings, so we have stronger connection. So those are like the top three things that we have. We also have one thing with it's similar to the Towson alert system, whereas we would have an app that students could download on their phones to alert them of different positive things going on campus. So if there's like free events, free food going on around anywhere on campus, they could be alerted to it, and if they have time or if they're in the area, they'd be able to go to it and get some free food or whatever is being provided.
And just to add on to that, like if I know that there's free pizza being done at the New York Times lunch event that they have, I'm gonna go there, participate in that organization, and the event's gonna become more successful because of it. It's not just that it's gonna allow students to get more free food. Student groups will also be able to advertise their event to everyone on campus at once. And I think that's something that they really should take advantage of. And some personal initiatives that I really want to do is number one, a 24-hour library the week before finals. I'm not advocating for. It'd be nice to have a 24-hour library the entire semester, but I'm not sure how realistic that is. But I'm confident because, as treasurer, I've sat in a lot of the meetings where the university decides what resource to allocate where. That a 24-hour library for 10 more days out of the year is not that unrealistic, especially when there's so much student support. I mean, it's the 1 week in the year where you have everything over the entire semester due, and then exams due the next week. I consider that week hell week because that's what it feels like you're going through. And at a university, we should be able to have adequate resources to study during the busiest time of the year. And one other thing that we want to do is have more benches around campus, not just like the metal benches, more wooden benches. And I don't know if anyone has been to George Mason University, but when you go there, when you go on the tour, they take you through a section of just wooden benches, which student groups and Greek life to have decorated and painted. And just, George Mason's is landscaped wonderfully. So is Towson University, but it just adds a nice flair to it. It adds like kind of like a homey touch where you can say, that's the Kappa Delta bench or that's the BSU bench, and it really just kind of makes you proud about your school, about your organization, knowing that that's going to be there for many, many years, and you can always come back each year and see how it's changed and what it looks like.
Okay, so some of the things that you guys mentioned, like dining hours, parking, 24-hour library. It seems like that's a lot of things that come up every year in SGA elections. So what do you think that you guys could do differently that to actually accomplish those goals instead of next year whoever's running say those same things?
I think I can't speak for everyone. I was close to Matt Sikorsky when he was president. I know he ran on a 24-hour library throughout the entire year, and he came through and he's like, we just don't have the resources right now. But that was 2 years ago, and he was a great president. But I feel at this certain time, with the resources that we have now, with the support that I believe exists, and with the ambition that I personally have to carry out these things, I believe that it's possible. It's not necessarily that everyone wants more parking, but it's about how you're going to go across it. One thing that we would like to do, and same thing with Timoji, because we worked on this together, Guy and I, over the course of this semester a little bit, is repealing this brothel law that exists. And the idea behind that is that if more people can live in an apartment in Cardiff, in Donnybrook, in Towson Place, or where the shuttle has access, you can have people don't need to drive their cars to campus. They can just take advantage of the shuttle service, save $300, and it will decrease the fees for parking or make more parking available. Additionally, I think the hours should be re-looked at. No parking till 8 p.m. for everyone, I think, is a little bit unnecessary. Maybe like 6 p.m. or 5 p.m. I think people wouldn't notice the difference.
Okay, and being an SGA now, is there anything that you haven't seen from SGA this year that you think could be improved upon? Like any specific area that they may be lacking that you'd like to improve upon?
That's something if you can go after me, but one thing that I really wanted to do coming into this year, and we just weren't able to do it because it was kind of a silly reason, but I think we realized it too late. Brandy and I really wanted to have a student advocacy Tuesday. We would go out on Tuesday, say, these are the things, like, we're SGA, we can help you. How do you want us to help you? We're here to listen. This is about that day. It turns out that Tuesday's our busiest day. We have our meeting, we have resolutions being pushed through, we have the appropriations, GovOps, we have so much stuff to catch up on that day, and we probably should have made that Wednesday instead. I don't think it sounds as good, but that's a small sacrifice to make to really gain student voice on a lot of issues and make sure student SJ is very visible.
As a director, I get to see the flow of how each director operates within their own personal initiatives. And as one thing that I would like to work on, especially as chief of staff, as far as internal wise, would be just to making processes go a little bit smoother. I don't think that there's enough structure with how different processes are handled, but if each committee can go about and just refine each of their processes, how they go about doing certain things with respect to each director, it would make things run a little bit more smoother. Things run well now, but I feel like they could be a lot better with just defined outlined processes.
And Ben, you mainly just said that when you were running last year, you were advocating for Student Advocacy Tuesdays, and you think that it's important for students' voices to be heard.
Yes.
Do you think that's a problem that the campus is facing right now, that students may have these concerns and they don't really know where to turn to?
I believe that everyone knows that the SGA exists. I don't believe that everyone knows how much influence it has or how much of a budget we have. We have a $1.7 million budget that funds newspapers. It funds the College Town Shuttle partly. URG helps and other departments help with all those things. Involved at TU and so many other facets. But it's not; those are things that aren't advertised. SJ gave this to you, and that's fine. But it's sort of a visibility thing, where do student groups know who their senator is? Do student groups know who they can turn to? Do students know that this is a resource where people are dedicating hours out of their weeks, days out of the year for students to make their lives easier, make their lives better, make it easier to be a student? And that's really the most important thing. We're great listeners, but if people don't talk to us, and if we don't go out seeking people to talk to us, us being great listeners isn't going to do anything.
And just to add on to that as well, I personally think one of the best ways for students' voices to be heard, is outside of us going around and talking to them, would be them coming to the SGA general meetings on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So if they come to those meetings, express their their frustrations or whatever their concerns with different things around campus, that would be a great way for us to know what's going on with those individual students. And then especially if more students come in saying the exact same thing, then we know that one specific thing is an issue, and we need to address that in some kind of way. So I personally think that that's one of the best ways, and with SGA, we need to portray that more, like make it more open in some way for students to feel comfortable enough to come in to those meetings and just sit down, listen, and express their concerns.
Okay, so next, just tell me a little bit about why you guys decided to run for SGA Executive Board. Just a little bit, like maybe about leadership background that you might have outside of the SGA, or just anything in particular that inspired you to run.
I mean, I can speak for myself personally that I've been through this kind of campaigning before. I did it last year, and I've been through executive board before. And people who are new to this may think that this is just a 2-week process where you're going to be stressed and you're going to be tired and making sacrifices. But it's really a marathon, and it's sometimes I'm wondering, you know, it's difficult to make that commitment again. But I sat down and I thought, you know, it's about the time to think about what I want to do next year. And I thought about the things I still want to see done on Towson's campus. And I thought this can only be done through being present, and that's something that I want to do with them. I think I'll be good at. People around me said they would support me. And with my foundation supporting me, with myself believing in me, that was really all I needed. And I was able to create a ticket, and you know, if people around me support me, that's really all I need to really justify. And if I believe that I'm going to actually accomplish things and do goods and create a legacy of helping people, then that's really important to me.
One of the main reasons that I decided to run for SGA in general is because I'm the type of person that likes service to others. So my position right now in SGA as director of student groups, I am providing a service to the student groups for whatever they might need. If they need to know who their senator is or anything like that, they contact me. So I would like to apply that to the entire campus as part of the executive board and help influence any type of service that they might need, anything that the campus or the students need or anything like that. And my other positions right now reflect that. I'm a second-year RA, so I provide a service to the Newell community, my floor. So that's a little part of what I do now, and I was also part of leadership, and that taught me a lot about myself and how I could go about helping others and working with others to benefit the campus and as a whole.
Okay, and just the last thing. Oh, I completely lost my train of thought. But is there just anything else that you guys would like to add as far as how, like, the platform that you guys are running on, or why you think that you would make the best choices for your positions?
You want first?
Good.
Okay. I would definitely want to echo what he just said. When I made this ticket, you know, sometimes people make tickets based on who's electable, who do they think is going to get them the best chance to win. I've been through this before, and I really don't want to spend a year working with people that I don't want to spend a lot of time with in really close quarters and really stressful situations. And so I really wanted to make sure that with Stephen and other Stephen Flowers and David, that I'll be working with people who not only I can work with, but the rest of the other people can work with, that we're a team. And then we also have similar, you know, characteristics, that we're genuine people, that we're people of character, that we're people who will be very open and honest and forthcoming and committed. And most importantly, as you said, that we're people of service. I've been given so much by the foundation, like my foundation around me, by Towson University. I've changed so much as a professional, as an individual. I've grown, and I want to give back to that. Mm-hmm. And that's just the most important thing to me. Regardless of what I'm doing, where I am, I want to be serving the community that cares about me, because I want to be able to, for other people to benefit the way that I have as well.
I would definitely agree with that. Tomorrow Towson's ticket is based off of service. Each one of us realizes that we've been given a lot by the Towson community, so we do want to give back as much as we can. And if elected to the executive board, that's exactly what we're going to do. Provide a service for the Towson community. Anything that students need, we're going to work to get what they want and what they need. So, and as we said before, this ticket is very strong as far as being on SGA or previously or currently. So we all know the ins and outs of what we need to do to accomplish these goals. And for us, that's the most important thing.
Okay, and I just thought of the question that I forgot before. But last year when you ran, Ben, there was only 2 tickets. And this year there's 3 pretty much full tickets, and then Towson Voice only has 1 on it.
Yeah.
But the chances of a full ticket being elected are obviously, they're just lower because of the number of people who are running.
Right.
So is that something that either of you guys are prepared to work with, that if one of you were to win and one was to not?
Well, I keep telling people is that there is going to be a split ticket. Because there's going to be 4 people from my ticket and 1 person from the other tickets.
Yeah.
That's obviously a joke, but obviously there's going to be 5 people on the executive board. We only have 4 people, so I'm fully prepared to work with Joe and Laura. Joe, we go back on the Frisbee team for a long time, and we work together in URG very close. And Laura and I have gotten to know each other very well over the course of this year. And I think you can ask anyone that's running currently, is that I'm probably one of the most fun people to run against, because as we all are, because we're really positive people. We focus on the things that build us up and not really that tear other people down. So I understand the difficulties of a split ticket, especially with Matt Sikorsky's term, and the way to combat that is through positivity. So I even if I have everyone on my ticket win, I still will have to work with someone else, and that's why it's important to remain positive and remember that this is not about this is ultimately about the students that you serve and making sure that they get the best year that they deserve.
And just to echo that as well, the one thing that I can positively say about all the tickets is that all of us have a love for Towson. All of us have a love for SGA. So no matter who wins, we're all going to do our best to make positive change towards Towson. So even though we're all going to be running against each other to obviously win this election, we are all going to do our best and put our best foot forward to make Towson a better community and better place for everybody. And that goes across the board for everybody who's running.